will now come to order. Dr. Thomas Stewart, Alabama State Board member from District 5, will now offer our invitation. Dr. Stewart.
I think she's muted.
Can you hear me? You hear me, Governor?
We can. Yes, we can.
Okay. Our Father who art in heaven, we thank you for your blessings, and we need you this day and forevermore. We come to you this morning as we start a deliberation for the youth of our state, and we come with gratitude for this opportunity to be your vessel. We're so grateful that you reminded us to lean not on our own understanding, for there is much we do not understand and possibly will never understand. But you are the provider. You are the healer. You are the waymaker. You are the superintendent and the principal and the governor of all things. So God, on you we rely, and we thank you for granting us this opportunity to work together for the good of our children, for the state of Alabama. Please be with us in these proceedings. Please let us know that it's not our will, but thy will shall always be done. In your Son Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Stewart. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States flag. Attention, salute, and pledge. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance to the flag
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Ms. Thornton, please call the roll.
Mrs. Bell? Mrs. Bell? Governor Ivey?
Present.
Dr. McCarty?
Present.
Mr. Newman?
Present.
Dr. Reynolds?
I'm present.
Dr. Richardson?
Present.
Dr. Stewart?
Present.
Mrs. West?
Here.
Mrs. Ziegler?
Here.
We have a quorum, Governor.
Thank you, Ms. Thornton. A quorum is present. We'll now consider a motion to temporarily suspend certain provisions of the Alabama Administrative Code related to the reform of the Alabama State Board of Education to vote by raised hand. The provisions related to the establishment of a quorum by physical presence and meeting by electronic means. Is there a motion to suspend the rules in this manner?
So moved.
I'm sorry.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Each member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Thornton will now please call the roll.
Mrs. Bell? Governor Ivey?
Yes.
Dr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds? Dr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Dr. Richardson?
Yes.
Dr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mrs. West?
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler?
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Thank you so much. We'll now consider a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Thornton will call the roll.
Mrs. Bell? Governor Ivy?
Yes.
Dr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Dr. Richardson?
Yes.
Dr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mrs. West?
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler?
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Thank you so much. We'll now consider a motion to approve the minutes for the December 10th, 2020 meeting of the Alabama State Board of Education. Is there a motion to approve the December 10th, 2020 meeting minutes?
So moved. Second.
A motion, is there a second?
Second, West.
Any discussion? Each member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Thornton will call the roll.
Mrs. Bell? Governor Ivy?
Yes.
Dr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds? Dr. Reynolds? Dr. Richardson?
Yes.
Dr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mrs. West?
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler?
Yes.
The vote carries, Governor.
Thank you so much. Moving to action items, item H. Ms. Thornton, is there any unfinished business?
There's no unfinished business.
Thank you. We'll move to item number 2, new business. This will be a resolution in recognition of Bob Jones High School, Madison City School System for 2020 ribbon, as the 2020 ribbon school. We'll now consider a resolution to be offered by the board member of each district in which a school is located. Dr. Reynolds, would you offer a resolution to recognize Bob Jones High School?
I would offer that resolution, please. Thank you for the opportunity.
Certainly. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
I second.
Do we have a motion and a second?
Yes.
Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Thornton will call the roll.
Mrs. Bell? Governor Ivy?
Yes.
Dr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Dr. Richardson?
Yes.
Dr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mrs. West?
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler?
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Well, congratulations, Bob Jones High School. Now, at this time, I want to recognize Principal Sylvia Lambert to offer a few remarks. Unmute yourself, Principal Lambert.
We are truly grateful for your nomination, the state nomination, and we are thankful for this national recognition. We will continue to improve upon the excellent foundation that we have in place with the support of our board, our teachers, our faculty, our students, and our families. We look forward to our future, and we are very grateful and honored with this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will now consider a resolution to recognize Cleveland County Elementary School, which is located in the Cleveland County School System and State Board District 2 as a blue ribbon school. Ms. West, will you offer the resolution?
Yes, Governor, I proudly offer the resolution in recognition and honor of Cleveland County Elementary School. I proudly present this resolution.
We have a motion to adopt. Is there a second?
Second, Stewart.
Any questions? Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Thornton will call the roll.
Mrs. Bell? Governor Ivy?
Yes.
Dr. McCarty,
Yes.
Mr. Newman,
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds,
Yes.
Dr. Richardson,
Yes.
Dr. Stewart,
Yes.
Mrs. West,
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, Cleveland County Elementary School. At this time, I want to recognize Principal Barbara Jordan to offer a few remarks. Please unmute yourself. Principal Jordan.
To the Honorable Governor Kay Ivey and to the Honorable Superintendent of Education, Dr. Mackey, and to the members that make up the Board of Education, and to my superintendent, Mr. Tad Young, I am elated to represent my school, Cleveland County Elementary. High esteem goes to the faculty, staff, and students of this great school. They make it possible to be recognized as a recipient of the 2020 National Blue Ribbon School Award. Thank you for recognizing Cleveland County Elementary School.
Thank you so much, Principal Jordan. We will now consider a resolution to recognize Hewitt Trustful High School, which is located in Trustful City School System and State School Board District 7 as a 2020 Blue Ribbon School. Mr. Newman, would you offer the resolution?
I'd like to make a motion, we accept this resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Starcher, please call the roll.
Mrs. Bell, Governor Ivey,
Yes.
Dr. McCarty,
Yes.
Mr. Newman,
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds, Dr. Richardson, Dr. Richardson,
Yes.
Dr. Stewart,
Yes.
Mrs. West,
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor. Thank you so much, and congratulations, Hewitt Trustful High School. I want to recognize Principal Tim Salem to offer a few remarks. Please unmute yourself.
Good morning.
Good morning.
On behalf of Trustful City Schools board members, Superintendent Dr. Patty Neal, our committed staff, our valued students, and our supportive parents, I'm honored to be the principal of a national blue ribbon school. Our community values education and knows the importance of relationships and connections, all for the betterment of our students. It truly takes each partner from the State Department down to make education a priority, and I thank all of you.
Thank you so much. Now we will consider a resolution to recognize John S. Jones Elementary School, which is located in the Etowah County School System and State School Board District 8 as a 2020 Blue Ribbon School. Dr. Reynolds, would you like to offer the resolution?
Yes, I'm delighted, and I do offer a resolution to adopt this award for this Blue Ribbon School.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Thornton will call the roll.
Mrs. Bell, Governor Ivey, Dr. McCarty,
Yes.
Mr. Newman,
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds,
Yes.
Dr. Richardson,
Yes.
Dr. Stewart,
Yes.
Mrs. West,
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Thank you. Congratulations, John S. Jones Elementary School. At this time, I want to recognize Principal Tanya Clark to offer a few remarks. Please unmute yourself, Principal Clark.
Yes. Thank you, Governor Ivy. I would like to thank Dr. Eric Mackey for nominating our school for this prestigious award. We have remarkable faculty and staff at John Jones Elementary School that deserves recognition. I would like to thank our amazing teachers and wonderful students for their hard work and dedication, as well as Dr. Alan Cosby and the Etowah County Board of Education. And of course, we could not have done it without the support of our parents and the Rainbow City community. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Now we'll consider a resolution to recognize New Century Technology High School, which is located in the Huntsville City School System and the State School Board District 8 as the 2020 Blue Ribbon School. Dr. Reynolds, would you like to offer the resolution?
I certainly like to offer this resolution on the part of the newly designated Space Force Center in Huntsville.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Each board member will indicate his vote by saying yes or no when called upon. Ms. Thornton will call the roll.
Mrs. Bell? Governor Ivy?
Yes.
Dr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds? Dr. Richardson?
Yes.
Dr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mrs. West?
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler?
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Congratulations, New Century Technology High School. Now I want to recognize Principal Sheila Roby to offer a few remarks. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank Governor Ivey, Dr. Mackey, and the entire state board for taking this opportunity to celebrate with us. It was an honor just to be nominated, and we're thrilled to have received the honor of 2020 National Blue Ribbon School. It is our goal to encourage more students to enter the STEM field and become leaders in their field. We have strong support both from our district and community that make a lot of opportunities and challenges possible for our students. So thank you again for this opportunity and the recognition.
Well, thank you so much, Principal Roby. Moving to item F, a resolution proclaiming February 1 through 28, 2021, Alabama Career and Technical Education Month. We'll now consider a resolution proclaiming February 1st through 28th, 2021 as Career and Technical Education Month in Alabama. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Thornton will call the roll.
Mrs. Bell? Governor Ivy?
Yes.
Dr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Dr. Richardson?
Yes.
Dr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mrs. West?
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler?
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Thank you so much. Item number G, we have a resolution to approve Dr. Brandon T. Payne as Assistant State Superintendent for Local Education Agency Auxiliary Support Services. If approved, Dr. Payne will enter service at step 18, pay grade 9091, with an annual salary of $172,737.60. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Thornton, please call the roll.
Mrs. Bell? Governor Ivy?
Yes.
Dr. McCarty?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Dr. Richardson?
Yes.
Dr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mrs. West,
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Thank you so much, and congratulations, Dr. Payne. Item H, resolution to modify certain passing scores as a precondition for initial certification and program admission. We'll now consider a resolution to modify certain passing scores as preconditions for initial educator certification and program admission. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
Move approval.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Please call the roll, Ms. Thornton.
Mrs. Bell, Governor Ivy,
Yes.
Dr. McCarty,
Yes.
Mr. Newman,
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds, Dr. Richardson,
Yes.
Dr. Stewart,
Yes.
Mrs. West,
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Thank you so much. Item I, we'll now consider a resolution to approve recommendations of the State Textbook Committee for adoption of textbooks for mathematics. Dr. Mackey, please explain why new math textbooks are needed, and then explain to us the recommendations of the textbook committee.
Yes,
Dr.
ma'am.
Mackey.
Thank you, Governor. Be glad to. This has been, of course, a long process. Adopting the textbook committee's recommendation is, I think all our board members know, but certainly for the benefit of the public too, comes after we approve new standards. This will be the first time that we've adopted new textbooks in about a decade. And I think most of you know when the state board over a decade ago went with the Common Core standards and adopted textbooks right after that, we've had a lot of complaints through the years about the quality of textbooks that were available at the time. I'm not saying some of them weren't great, but we've heard from a lot of superintendents and principals and teachers that they were really concerned about the quality of textbooks they had options to buy back then. I believe we've done a really thorough vetting. I have to give a lot of credit to this committee. The committee of your teachers worked very hard. I know the board had a lot of questions, and I want to say thank you to the board for digging deep into it and asking good questions, asking for more information, asking us to go deeper and produce a better rubric that'll help our local principals and teachers and committees choose wisely, because that is the concern we heard for a decade, is that they didn't feel like they had the information, and many of them, not all of them, but many of them felt like they did not choose wisely 10 years ago because they didn't have all the information. And so we've tried really hard to do that, both our department staff, Dr. Jones, who leads that work here, Dr. Boyd, who's really jumped deep into it with her, and certainly the committee. I cannot say enough, these are volunteers, these are Alabama teachers who touch the lives of students every day, who gave up their time, and over Thanksgiving holiday went much deeper to produce that more robust rubric the board members asked for. So I feel really comfortable with it. I feel like we're in better shape going forward than we have been. And one more comment, Governor. Even when I interviewed for this position almost 3 years ago, in another month, it'll be 3 years. And that was one of the 3 big things I mentioned in my interview, is that we had to focus on higher math scores, doing better on the NAEP, having our students better prepared in mathematics. And we were already, the process for new standards had already begun a couple of months earlier. And so we picked that up. We spent 2 years working on the standards, moving to something new, and then, this is the process for textbooks. But I think today, I really feel good. After 3 years, I think we are finally beginning the foundation steps of giving our teachers what they need to move us substantially forward. It's not everything, and realize it's just the beginning. I mean, we're talking about laying this foundation, but I really appreciate, again, all of you digging in. It's time to move past those old books, many of which are torn to shreds anyway, and they're out out of print now and get some new things in our hands of our students. And I appreciate, again, all the questions, all the time from this board, each of you, no matter how you feel about it, and from our committee. I'm saying it one more time, because I can't think enough what volunteers do, teachers in our classroom that touch the lives of kids every day, and they say, this is what we need to move forward. And I hear from experts every day. I get emails from experts in California, and New York, and Washington, and everywhere. But I don't put credence more than anybody than our classroom teachers that work with our students every day. So with that, Governor, we do bring you the textbook committee's report and recommendation to adopt these books. That, of course, comes not as a recommendation from me, but as a recommendation from the textbook committee. Governor, you were muted there. You're going to have to say that again to us. You may have to unmute from your end, I think.
Is there a motion to adopt the resolution to adopt the state textbook recommendations on mathematics books?
Move approval.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am. Governor, I've gotten a text from Miss Bell, and she is trying to participate. So I wanted to let it be known that she is present, but she wants to participate, and she's on phone.
No. Yes, Governor, I have been apparently muted by the department the entire time. It was said that it was supposed to be unmuted for all board members, but they failed to unmute me, and I have even done *6 the entire time. So if I was marked unpresent, not present, and I said present 3 times. I have voted every time, and apparently my vote has not been registered. And it is, I don't know exactly what happened, but it was not on my end. It was on the department's end. In fact, they don't even have my name up there. but I have been here since 9:45. And I did talk to my fellow board members before the meeting, and we've had a nice conversation, but apparently someone on the other end did not unmute me as they said they would and they were supposed to. And I have been here and I have voted when my name has been called, but apparently the votes have not been registered.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. We recognize that you are present and participating.
And I will go back and get my vote put in the minutes. Let it be known that I will have my vote registered.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to adopt the recommendations of the state textbook committee. Any more discussion?
Yes. I do not believe it is time. I think that it is appropriate to wait for the 2 new board members, although I do very much appreciate the comments from our current board members, but the new board members would have to field the complaints from teachers and parents. I do think that the textbooks have problems because the course of study has problems, and we've already discussed that in work session after work session, including discussions regarding the course of study. And I think that was probably part of the problem when publishers tried to provide textbooks for the course of study. Several said that it was difficult. Now, from this standpoint going forward, I had hoped that, as you know, I did send a request to remove this item from the agenda, and certainly it is the prerogative of the board president, the executive secretary, Dr. Mackey, and the board as a majority to turn that request down, which is what happened. But I do plan to vote no because I do think there's still problems. And I do think, again, part of the problem is the fact that the course of study needs some changes. And so I will vote no.
Is there any more discussion? Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Thornton, please call the roll.
Mrs. Bell?
No.
Governor Ivy,
Yes.
Dr. McCarty,
Yes.
Mr. Newman, Mr. Newman, Mr. Newman,
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds,
I abstain on this vote because I have reservations.
Dr. Richardson,
Yes.
Dr. Stewart, Mrs. West,
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler.
No.
The vote carries, Governor.
Thank you so much. Moving to item number J, we have a resolution to recognize Mr. Jeff Newman for his service to Alabama students. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution to honor Jeff Newman?
I so move Wayne Reynolds.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Starcher, please call the roll.
Mrs. Bell,
Yes.
Governor Ivy,
Yes.
Dr. McCarty,
Yes.
Mr. Newman,
I suppose I'm supposed to vote yes.
Dr. Reynolds,
Enthusiastically, yes.
Dr. Richardson,
Yes.
Dr. Stewart,
Yes.
Mrs. West,
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Well, congratulations and thank you for your service, Mr. Jeff Newman. At this time, I want to recognize a special guest, Mr. Al Thompson, who's a former member of the Alabama State Board of Education and the current chairman of the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees, to offer a few remarks regarding Mr. Newman's service as the ex officio member of the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees on the occasion of his retirement. Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, Governor Ivy. Governor Ivy, Madam Vice President, Madam Pro Tem, Superintendent Mackey, and distinguished members of the Alabama State Board of Education. I've got to take this opportunity to thank you, each and every one, for your extra service to the state. For a very, very brief period, I experienced holding office on that board, on your board, and I know what it takes. It's a full-time job done properly, and I just appreciate what you do on behalf of our board. I especially appreciate this opportunity to appear before you today to recognize Jeff Newman's distinguished service to the state, to your board, to our Board of Trustees as ex officio member. I must first thank Governor Ivy for having the good judgment to appoint Jeff Newman to serve as the ex officio member of the Alabama Community College Board of Trustees. Just as Jeff's leadership, integrity, good judgment, an asset to your board, has also applied himself in the same manner to serve on our Board of Trustees. Jeff's extensive life experience at all levels of education have equipped him to be a true asset to our board, providing valuable insight on how the community college system can better serve the citizens of Alabama. In my brief time in serving in office here in Montgomery on a limited basis, although I've learned certain characteristics that are special for people and make people quality people. Those that what they do is about themselves, and then those that what they do is not necessarily about themselves. It's about true service. Jeff has never been self-serving, but its focus has always been how best to help the citizens of Alabama, and specifically how to achieve student success. Another quality that I'm looking at in people is do they benefit you personally to be around and be associated with? I think we can all say that we're better people for having served with Jeff. So anyway, I sincerely offer my congratulations, and on behalf of the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees, Jeff, I thank you for your service to our board, your service to our state, and wish you the very best on all your future endeavors. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Now we'll consider a resolution to recognize Dr. Tommy T. Stewart for her service to Alabama students. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Thornton will call the roll.
Mrs. Bell,
Yes.
Governor Ivy,
Yes.
McCarty,
Yes.
Mr. Newman,
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds, Dr. Reynolds, Dr. Richardson,
Yes.
Dr. Stewart,
Oh, yes.
Mrs. West,
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Thank you so much. Congratulations and thank you for your service, Dr. Stewart. For Dr. Stewart and for Jeff Newman, I have commendations for the governor from each of you, and we will get these in the mail to you today.
Okay,
So much.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Governor, may I say just a word in response to that?
Say again?
May I say a word of thanks in response to this?
Certainly.
I want to thank Governor. I want to thank you, the superintendent, the fellow board members, Mr. Thompson, especially over at the community college system. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve on this and to serve our young people. I want to thank all the people at the Gordon Persons Building, all the teachers and principals, and those that we serve, these students. It's all about the students. So I'm a much better person having been associated with all of you. And even though I'm leaving this board, I'm not leaving. I'm still willing to help in any way I can. You all have my contacts, and I just want to tell you a heartfelt thanks to all of you. Thank you.
I'm happy that he had a chance to say something. Please, may I speak? First of all, I'd just like to say to you, Governor Ivey, thank you for trusting me and for placing me on this board. Being in the company of these dedicated board members has been amazing. And I really wanted to say something so that everyone listening outside of the board members would know that the staff that's in that Gordon Persons building, they really work hard. They're very dedicated. The superintendent, I feel sorry for him many times. I've called him and he's called back in the, wee hours of the morning. And of course, Dr. Daniel Boyd has been just amazing. And this math book, the idea that I brought to him and to the board about continuing some sensitivity training and making it spread throughout the state, that the state of Alabama would be the first to do that. That board, that staff jumped on it, and we're working already on this type of sensitivity training and being a leader in the United States in doing such with our teachers, our children, our parents, and our superintendents. So having this opportunity has given me a chance to grow in a way that I had not ever imagined. Unfortunately, with COVID, we were not able to meet in person, and I was not able to go to the schools like I would want to, even though Dr. Boyd told me I didn't have to. He said, just when you get a problem, let us know. That's our job. So I'm so grateful to have had a chance to work with Dynamic Group. And the best thing about this for me is Dr. Tanya Chestnut. I am so proud that passing the baton on to such an able, strong, God-fearing, and well-prepared woman is in place. So thank you all. Please embrace her and know that I'm only a phone call away, a Zoom call away. I will be there for the governor. I will be there for the staff. I will be there for the board. And most of all, I'm here for the children. Thank you all so much. Thank you, superintendents. Thank you, principals, teachers, staff, for your love and dedication. God knows your heart, and He will make a way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Stewart.
Governor,
Who's seeking recognition?
This is Stephanie Bell. I would like to have my votes registered before, in the minutes before the end of this meeting, because I have voted every time I think it's been called. Apparently, there was no sound on the other end, and I did punch *6 as I was told to do. However, they did say that the board members would be brought into the meeting, and the others would have to punch *2. I do want to be registered as voting no, well, actually, answering as present at the very beginning in establishing a quorum. I did vote for item D. I did vote against the approval of the agenda because the item I had requested was still on the agenda. I did vote against the approval of the minutes because I do have some concerns about, I know it's just an announcement, but the laws that was passed by the legislature that included the announcement of 2 board members in my district who have actually served as president of each board, chairman of the board in Homewood. They are longtime board members, and they were in essence censored by recognizing their names. However, the board, our board, obviously did not vote. I voted for all of the action items listed for the Blue Ribbon Schools, and I voted for the recognition proclaiming February 1st through 28th as the Alabama Career and Technical Education Month. I abstained on item 8.2G, approving Brandon Payne. I did abstain on that because I have stated many times before that there is no description in our board duties to approve anyone except for the superintendent, and our state board does not have any authority to evaluate that person, and nor have we had the opportunity to even interview that individual. I do not know him. I'm sure one we may have met. I just don't know anything except that we have a resume that was provided a week before the vote. I did vote for the resolution to modify the certain passing scores, and then you have my votes registered from item I through K. So thank you for the opportunity.
Ms. Thornton, we'll take note of your votes.
And register them in the minutes as they would have been normally if I had not been muted by the department.
I have them registered.
Thank you, Ms. Thornton.
Thank you, Ms. Thornton. Thank
Dr.
you.
Mackey, do you have any public or legal information to share?
There is none this month, Governor.
All right, do you have a superintendent's report?
Yes, I do, Governor, and I appreciate the opportunity to make a report today. I want to start with saying again thank you to Mr. Newman and Dr. Stewart for their great service. I'm going to point out just a couple of things from these long resolutions. I'm not going to read the whole resolutions, so nobody has to worry. We have some resolutions they haven't seen yet that we'll also get these in the mail to them today. But Mr. Newman's, of course, served many years on the board, but for the benefit of those who may not know, He's twice served as pro tem of the board, twice served as vice president of the board, and came to us, of course, with a career in education, starting out as an agribusiness teacher and with degrees from Auburn University in Ag Ed, but also from Mississippi State University and from Nova Southeastern University, and worked, of course, for a full career in education before he retired after 32 years of experience in public education, last serving as the superintendent in Lamar County, and then, of course, ran for the school board after Mr. Warren decided not to run again and seek re-election. He's a member of Alpha, the School Superintendents Association, the Council for Leaders in Alabama Schools, the Alabama Association of School Boards, and a member of the Probst Memorial Methodist Church. And then I'm going to read just this last part, one sentence, in the board's resolution that says that the board thanks Mr. Jeff Newman for years of service on the Alabama State Board of Education, where he has shown great vision and patience and embodied the highest standards of leadership and has represented the board in the most distinguished manner. And I think we all agree that that speaks very much for what Mr. Newman is like in person. And I want to say for Dr. Stewart, I did not know her 15 months ago, I guess, but what a wonderful appointment you made, Governor, in bringing Dr. Stewart onto our board. Her career also in education, because she's worked mostly in higher education. Of course, we all know as an award-winning actress, but she has spent so many years teaching young people skills of acting, but more than skills of acting, skills of how to get along in the world, and has been a wonderful addition to this board for this last year. She is also a member of many organizations, including the NAACP, for where she has won the Image Award, for her Rosa Parks story, her role in the Rosa Parks story. She also won accolades for her role in A Time to Kill. And of course, as I said, we all know her from her years on TV years ago, too. Now, Dr. Stewart, actually, I want to say her memberships. She's a member of the Order of the Golden Circle, a lifetime member of the NAACP, a member of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and a dedicated member of the Hutchinson Missionary Baptist Church. And she also, a little PSA here, but normally there would be a huge celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. in Montgomery this weekend. And because of social distancing, that celebration is not able to go forward as normal. But Dr. Stewart has stepped up, and she is overseeing the production of a special 30-minute MLK tribute that will air on WSFA Saturday night from 6 to 6:30. And the producers at WSFA said would not have happened had she not personally taken it over and said, even in this year, when we cannot do a gathering, we are going to do something to honor Dr. King's contributions to this community. And she just took it over and did it. So it just shows you the kind of great person that she is. She and Mr. Newman have been super board members to work with, and we certainly appreciate them and their service. I also want to say, of course, congratulations again to our Blue Ribbon schools and those principals. Leadership makes a difference, and there's 5 great leaders there surrounded with great staff. I will, in the work session, talk a little more about updates on the vaccination plan. Some of you were talking to me coming into the room and saw that I was on the phone. Also, because we had a vaccination meeting with Dr. Harris and his team at 9 o'clock this morning. So I'm going to give an update on that in the work session, and also talk about some of our other plans going forward. And of course, a big thank you to Mr. Craig for going out and finding us Dr. Brandon Payne. You're all going to like Dr. Payne if you don't know him. He was a very good superintendent in Coleman County. Dr. McCarty knew him from there and retired, went into private business, and we have lured him out of private business back into public service, and very glad to have him here taking over those services inside this building, but also working with our districts. Mostly, he'll be doing LEA support services, so he'll mostly be working with folks all across the state. I will also just make a note that when we finish in a few minutes and adjourn, a little bit something different. The governor's going to stay with us for the beginning of the work session, so we are going to adjourn the meeting, but then begin the work session here in the room. We will not leave the room. And then, after the first item or two, we will recess. We'll take a few minutes break for the benefit of the media and so folks can have a break. And then Vice President Ziegler is going to call us back to order up in P103 where we would normally be. So we will start the work session here, recess, and then move to P103 for the majority of the work session. And that, Governor, concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mackey. It's come to my attention, board members, that we skipped item H1, unfinished business. But I want to say to you that no one signed up to speak today for unfinished business, so I apologize for skipping over that item. Item number K, the date and time of the next elementary and secondary education meeting will be Thursday, February 11, 2021, at 10 a.m. in the auditorium of the Gordon Parsons Building in Montgomery, and at 11 a.m. or immediately following the state board meeting, the work session will be in Plaza 103 of the Gordon Parsons Building. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Each board member will indicate his or her vote when called upon by saying yes or no. Ms. Starter, please call the roll.
Mrs. Bell,
Yes.
Governor Ivy,
Yes.
Dr. McCarty, Mr. Newman,
My last vote is a yes.
Dr. Reynolds, Dr. Reynolds, Dr. Richardson,
Yes.
Dr. Stewart,
My last vote is yes.
Mrs. West,
Yes.
Mrs. Ziegler.
Yes.
Unanimous vote, Governor.
Thank you. We are now adjourned and we'll go right into the work session. Thank you very much.
I'm not needed in this session, am I?
Well, that will be up to you, Dr. Stewart. So Mr. Newman told me he's leaving for the work session. We do have our two new board members, Dr. Chestnut and Ms. McCray are with us.
Okay.
And Governor, when you're ready to start the work session, we have Mr. John Stevens in here with us and Dr. Daniel Boyd, who of course worked with the FAFSA most and can help answer those questions. But so we think we're all here now.
Thank you all, and Dr. Chestnut you're in good hands. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Well, we welcome our two new board members and we look forward to serving with you. So Dr. Mackey, are we ready to begin the work session?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
All right, the first item is a continued discussion on the FAFSA proposal. This is the proposal that's right in line with our strong start, strong finish goal to have our 500,000 workforce members obtain an advanced post-secondary certificate, credential, or degree. And so the floor is open for discussion about the FAFSA SA proposal, and we will adopt this proposal or vote on it at the February meeting of the State Board of Education.
Governor, we have with us Sean Stevens. Mr. Stevens leads instructional support services or instructional services for us here. I think all of you know him, had some interaction with him before. And he, of course, was an award-winning, truly an outstanding school counselor and has worked with students through this process and was in charge of counseling for all of us before he took this position. And so that's still under him. And he has two wonderful ladies that work with him in school guidance and counseling. So he's here to answer any questions that we might have also about this. I do want to point out a couple of things, if I may, questions that came up since the last meeting. So first of all, a question came up about what if a student does not finish the FAFSA and they say they're a foster child, or they live with with a grandparent who doesn't have custody, would they end up in a situation where they could not graduate? And the answer is absolutely not. So there are a couple of ways that students could opt out of the FAFSA. The key is what we would be doing is moving from an opt-in, now it's opt-in, so the norm is they don't do it, and then we try to get them to do it. What we would move to is an opt-out. So it would be the norm for everybody to complete it, and then students could opt out. Students who are of age themselves, as most of our seniors are, could opt out. We'd have to, local schools would have to have a process for that so that they said why they were and put it in writing, but they could opt out. Parents could certainly opt their students out. And also the superintendent. This is a provision that the superintendent would have an opportunity to waive. So if there was a special circumstance, just like this last year. So we required a civics test, the students take and pass the civics test to graduate. But this past year, due to the way that things ended, some of our students didn't get to finish. We waived that requirement. We've actually told superintendents we're going to do that again this year because it's just such a difficult year. But it doesn't mean it's not still important, and it doesn't mean that some students don't do it, because many of them it's in classwork, they're already doing it. It's just we're not going to let it hold up a student from moving on. The purpose is, of course, something we all agree to, and that's to get more students in post-secondary work. And that might be university, that might be a 2-year program, it might be a certificate program. But all these programs cost money. And we know that our students are leaving literally millions of dollars of possible financial aid on the table every year. And so what we would like is just to push a little harder, to put them in a position where they either have to opt out or they have to at least apply for the federal aid. Another question that came was, would any information come to or be retained by any personal student information come to or be retained by our department? And the answer is no. What would happen is once they completed, now the person who has to do more work, to be fair, is that school counselor, because that person's going to have to make sure that it's reflected on the transcript, and that they'll have to keep up with that. And then, of course, we do audit transcripts and make sure that students are actually earning the credits they're supposed to earn to graduate. We do that in a regular rotating schedule through the monitoring program. But there would be no student information submitted to or held at this department as far as individual what parents make, social security numbers, all that. We would never see any of that because it is simply the normal FAFSA process. Okay, third thing, is it really, really hard? Yes, but better. So in the last package of CARES support that passed just, as you know, the week of Christmas, Congress actually modified the FAFSA greatly and took it from, and now I'm on the top of, going off the top of my head, but from like 30-something pages to 8 pages or something. It made it much, much simpler. This is something that Senator Lamar Alexander from Tennessee, as you all know, was also once the Secretary of Education, and he has said for years, this was one of his goals before he left the Senate, and by gosh, he got it put in to the CARES Act proposal that past Christmas week, and then he left the Senate, of course, the first of the year. So he got it done, and it is a much simpler process. So those are questions that have been asked of us since the last board meeting, and I wanted to go ahead and clarify those. And Mr. Stevens, would you take the mic? Is there anything else you ask or add to? And mostly you're going to save me, because if there are further questions, I probably can't answer them, and so I'll have you there to help us through this.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity just to maybe bring some clarity or even answer some questions that you may have. And thanks to the governor for her leadership in helping us try to really create pipelines of the workforce that can support that Success Plus goal. And it is a very aggressive goal, and it's a completely attainable goal. But the only way that we can certainly do that is if we help, students, no matter their age, fund their education, no matter if it is, 2-year, 4-year, military, all of those things. I did want to highlight a couple of things that were included in those changes. The new FAFSA starting in 23-24 will go from 108 questions to 36. And any of us who've ever participated in completing the FAFSA know how difficult it is just on its face. And so that alone will be a tremendous help. And that moving forward, families' income information will be imported directly from their tax returns. And again, no school staff members can even see any of that information even currently, because only a student's FAFSA ID and PIN allow them to access that information. And so no data would be kept here or even locally. And the only thing I would add is that I would hope that the focus would not be on students graduating or not graduating based on this, but the fact that that we're helping support them in the decisions that they want to make for their futures. And so I know that all of us are committed to that no matter what. And so, it's an opportunity for us to show that it's a priority, that we're preparing our students for the next chapters of their life. And so I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Are there any questions?
I have
Well, I
one
don't have
question, a brief question.
Dr. Reynolds?
We're going to make certain that the LEAs submit a requirement that the students have an option to opt out. I don't want us to get tied in like this is an unfunded mandate. This is actually self-funding mandate, but we need to have the liberty preserved that people do have the right to opt out of this resolution when we adopt it.
Yes, sir. We're in a complete agreement with that, and I think the provisions that are currently in the proposal allow for that. And another part, our school counseling programs already help students with, of course, financial aid, but all of those college admissions requirements. They currently do that. It's part of the work that they do every year with career coaches and all of our other helpers that are out there, our community partners. It's truly an effort, and it takes an entire community to help our students move forward. And so, yes, sir, you have our commitment on that as well.
Thank you.
Good morning. I have just a few comments. I had concerns based upon what I heard from some of my school districts relative to the ability to opt out, but I feel better about that. Also, secondly, that personal information cannot be disclosed, so I feel better about that. And then thirdly, the fact that the application will be going from 100 questions to 36, and perhaps there would be assistance provided. So I'm feeling better, and I feel some of my districts will, but the biggest thing would be parents were concerned about their personal information. So thank you.
Thank you.
Let me just remind the board that this FAFSA is a door opener for our students, and they'll be given the opportunity in their senior year to fill out the FAFSA form, and it makes them ready to receive any financial aid that they need to get a post-secondary degree or a certificate or credential that may be necessary to get the training that they need to get a better job. So this is a worthwhile program as I see it, and be given to all the students, and they'll have the opportunity to fit it out or opt out. But at the same time, you've got to fill out the form just to get in the door. So I encourage all of us to make this possible for our students.
Governor?
Yes. Who
This
seeks
is Stephanie
recognition?
Bell. This is Stephanie Bell.
For what reason do you seek recognition?
This is Stephanie Bell.
Okay, for what reason do you seek recognition, Ms. Bell?
To make some comments regarding the request to address FAFSA as a graduation requirement, and as a board member in a discussion and a work session. First of all, in the 3 states that I could find, and perhaps there's one that has been added since all of the COVID-19 discussion, I don't know that it has been the case, but, and by the way, my name is misspelled on the screen. But going back to the FAFSA discussion, the only states that I could find are Texas, Illinois, and of course Louisiana was the first state. In each of those states, it was the legislature that passed a law to require the FAFSA as a requirement for graduation. There are in each state, different but similar opt-out options, not opt-in. And each one, of course, is very new. So the impact of only these 3 states, the impact as far as graduation or filling out the FAFSA, the first state, Louisiana, had about a 25% increase in the number of those students who submitted the FAFSA to the federal government, or their parents actually did the submission, because I doubt most of those students actually filled out the FAFSA and included, and this is a very big concern, and my concern has always been submitting the information, and the fact that there will be parents who don't want to submit the information to the federal government. And the fact is that that's where you submit it. It's your IRS, your tax returns that you use as the basis of what you put on that form. And as far as the current setup in the vast majority of the states in the United States of America, again, the only ones I could find were Louisiana being the first, Texas and Illinois with some variation. And they were all passed by the legislature, and they're all very new. And of course, with the COVID, because that was in 2019, we don't know, we don't have any type of evidence other than that very short period of time in Louisiana. But that said, I still have concerns. We're graduating students who can't read. We have students who cannot do simple math. Our focus should be on graduating students who have mastered even just the basics. Having to require them, their families actually, to fill out a FAFSA in order to graduate, I think we're asking for a nightmare, and the schools that are already having difficulty will face even more. And again, it's not the State Board of Education in these states, it's the state legislature that have passed this as a law. And also, it's very new. If you read some of the articles that were already in the works as far as the process of putting it in place, there are multiple concerns and difficulties that they faced. I know this is being pushed by the College Board, which of course is a money-making venture, and a lot of colleges are now looking to eliminate some of those assessments to get in. But the other problem is they have questions about putting some of these students, I know you're trying to attract Pell Grants, perhaps for 2-year colleges and for workforce development programs. That, at this point, has not shown, they haven't seen that that is working. Obviously, COVID has intervened, and we only have 3 states to use as any type of experiment in all of this. But I think that you will have a number of parents who will pull their children out of public schools simply because you have put in place a requirement that they, for whatever reason, do not want to complete for their students. And so you're hurting students. The best thing you can do, and that's what the majority of the states are still doing, is to use all of those career coaches that the legislature has funded and use the counselors who are in place to encourage students and their parents to fill out the proper forms. Again, when you look at the problems, one of the concerns that has surfaced is putting these students who don't need the debt in debt. And that's, again, an offshoot. That's been expressed. If you go and do your research and look at the concerns, then you'll find a long list of concerns. And those have been expressed from not just students, but their parents, teachers, even guidance counselors in these states. But we don't have anything, even Texas, as large as it is, there's nothing to use as a way for you to say, or for us to say, this works. And if you want to have a body approve it, go to the legislature like the other states did. I think if someone took this to court I think that we would have a good case to keep it, perhaps, but the stronger case would be, and the precedent has been through the legislature. And I don't think the legislature would approve it.
Comments, but let me point out to you that the state of Louisiana, the statewide FAFSA completion rate in Louisiana rose almost 11 percentage points in the first year of the program. And
it's new.
If parents feel that they don't want their students to take the test, that's the reason we have the opt-out policy. But you don't want to shut the door on the students to give them a chance to get financial aid if they want it, if they need it to go forward for a workforce certificate or any other advanced training that they may need to get the jobs that we're trying to bring to Alabama. And let me remind everyone that the State Board of Education is a constitutional body and therefore has the authority to make administrative changes, and that's what this proposal is all about. So this is something the State Board can do in our purview, and we don't need to bring in the legislature on this matter.
Governor
Governor, I
Ivey?
disagree. And I'm looking at articles from Louisiana as late as 2020, the end of 2020, and those articles paint a different picture. And again, COVID has been a part of the problem perhaps, but it's a brand new program. And I disagree regarding, yes, we are a constitutional body, but in the past and in the present, our graduation requirements have been set by the legislature here in the state of Alabama. We can change what, the makeup of it, but as far as something like the FAFSA, I think in the state of Alabama, like in the other 3 states, in only 3 states, Illinois, Texas, and both of those are brand new to this. Louisiana is still brand new, and it's only been there for a year. It was in 2019. So I think that the problem is that, if you're going to be consistent with everything, then we need to exercise that authority as a whole, because right now the legislature has been telling us everything that we have to do or not to do, and this is one that perhaps could be a big legal issue, and you're not willing to even consider that, because I don't think the legislature would consider it, frankly, at this point. I don't think there's enough evidence to convince the legislature, and there's certainly not enough evidence to convince me personally, based on reading the information that's coming out of those 3 states, and it's including Louisiana, because it's not as rosy as what you have expressed and what a lot of people would like to express. And there is a group driving this, and as with so many things, money is the issue, not for the children, not for the students who are graduating, sadly, but more so for others. And what happens in the end, and that's what some of the stories have been about, of what we're saddling these students with when they entered into something where they didn't even know that they had to renew it every single year and fill out a new FAFSA. The first one was all they needed. And so anyway, I don't care whether you go down in the number of questions, and yes, we had to deal with that, but that was our decision. And I think most families have to make that decision on their own. It should not be a state requirement to graduate.
Let me just remind us that the State Board of Education is a constitutional body and has the authority to make these changes as the State Board of Education. The numbers that I quoted for the completion rate of the FAFSA in Louisiana was 11 percentage points. And Louisiana, just like Alabama, has got other groups out there under their state, just like we do here, that oppose almost everything. And so I'm going to stick by the completion rate of FAFSA in Louisiana. The participation rate rose almost 11 percentage points in the first year. This program is a door opener for opportunity for our students. We have the opt-out policy, but you got to complete the form even to be able to opt out of it. So I think this is something we ought to pursue, and I look forward to the full discussion and the vote in the February board meeting.
Governor, this is Tracy West.
One additional comment.
Ms. West? For what purpose do you recognition?
Yes, ma'am, I would like to ask a policy question regarding the
Please proceed.
FAFSA.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens. I believe in our notes, we've been told the 3 states, Louisiana, Illinois, and Texas, have policies similar. Is the policy being proposed, is it a combination of these 3? Is it more closely aligned with one of the 3 states, in your opinion? The second question I have, I'm going to give you both questions, and then you just
Yes,
go
ma'am.
with it. Thank you. The second question that I have, in your professional opinion, would this give Alabama students in Alabama an opportunity to lead in offering additional opportunities for our students? And how would you best explain that in your professional experience?
May I answer question 2 first?
Absolutely.
I'm sure I'm not alone, but there may be many of us in this room that are first-generation college students. You know, the first in their families to both attend and graduate from college. And, you know, being someone who graduated from high school in the 90s where, you know, assistance and help was limited, right? Because we didn't have the internet. We had to rely on, you know, human beings and people who had been to college before, and you had to know someone who had actually attended college to even really be able to capture what that meant, and especially coming from, you know, a town that had 2 red lights and a caution light, and you know, 1,000 citizens. You know, college was a big deal. It was life altering, and I hope it was a positive one for most everyone. And so, of course, you know, as we work with all students every day to try to provide, you know, meaningful pathways for success, whatever success looks like for them, even when they themselves are unsure of what that might actually be. You know, I think if we provide as many opportunities as we possibly can for our students to be successful, then I think that we deserve the recognition that we get. And being a state that would be one of the first to you know, lead by example, you know, and take the lead in this. As far as the other states, you know, with the ones that have been noted, I think if you look at really the way they've approached them, it's all very, very similar. It's a priority. And it's a priority where they want to be very intentional and protect students, protect our educators, protect our school systems, but also show the students and their families that we're here to help the entire and the whole child, right? We're here to truly meet the needs, whatever those needs may be. And so, you know, as you look at Louisiana, Texas, some of those, I think they started with, you know, simple things like, you know, requiring a part of the FAFSA completion to be part of economics as, you know, a required lesson within a course. And then depending on what their numbers were before, you know, they may have had significant you know, gaps in their numbers. They may not have partners like we have, like Alabama Possible, and some of our true partners in the communities who are helping us champion this work. And so I would say, regardless of the approach, it's a priority, and it just speaks volumes for the governor and you as a state board that we're also going to help meet those needs with our students that we do every day anyway. And I think it speaks volumes for where we want to go and how we're going to get there. Thank you.
Ms. West, let me be very clear that we have taken the best practices of Louisiana, Texas, and Illinois that they had in their policies and combined them and put them in the policies that we are proposing adoption for the FAFSA.
Thank you, Governor.
Governor Wayne Reynolds, I request recognition.
Dr. Reynolds, for what purpose do you rise?
I rise to comment on the issue before the board.
Okay, please proceed.
I think that, Governor, you've been very clear, and I appreciate your leadership as a first-generation college graduate who actually got into college because I went to Vietnam, and the VA promoted education and similar to what we were doing here. I think we need to be absolutely clear about the requirement and exemption for FAFSA. If a parent decides they don't want to engage, or the student decides they don't want to engage in this pathway, we need to be very clear in the initial implementation of this requirement of the ease of avoiding it. I know the benefit for the state and individual students, and I know what the Veterans Administration does for me now and has always done for me, and how this can be productive, but we also need to be clear of the liberty issue of exempting. And I know, Governor, your leadership in many avenues of this state has been invaluable in promoting education and increasing our math and language arts scores is a critical issue. But we need to be clear about the fact that this requirement can be avoided if the student and their parents don't want to proceed along this path.
Thank you, Dr. Reynolds. That's the reason we have an out policy in there.
Governor, this is Stephanie Bell requesting the opportunity to speak in a work session.
Do you have a new point to bring up, Ms. Bell?
Yes, I do, Governor, and this is a work session. This is for discussion. This is a very difficult decision because we understand the opportunities. However, that's what the counselors are supposed to be doing. And if the board chooses to do this based on no empirical evidence, because again, Louisiana has only had this for a very short time and then COVID hit. The other two states have really not had an opportunity to implement this. I've discussed it with board members from each of the states, and each one of them said, even though that they may have the authority to do it, they saw a lot of the potential and likely legal pitfalls. There's so many questions that need to be answered before you rush into this. I'm simply saying that because the state has left a lot of money on the table simply does not give you the reason to do this. What you do is you put your career coaches and your counselors into, the job that they're supposed to be doing. Keep it as an opt-in. Try to encourage those students. I paid my way through college. I could not have gone. I have 4 brothers. My parents did not have the money to send, even though they're hardworking and they made a nice living, but it was not enough to support each one of us. We all paid for our college education. And we also had to deal with loans, we had grants, we had scholarships, but we had to piece it together, and I had to work many nights at the Glendine Drugs, and I'm sure you're aware where that was at the time and what it looked like, the old cash register. I worked in the Auburn University Library till it closed. Actually, after it closed, putting books up. I could go down a long list of the different jobs I did because I was committed to college. But we have to have the students who have that same motivation, that same discipline. We have to have parents who are going to be willing to fill out the forms. And then we have to have students who have to understand that eventually, if it means taking out loans because you qualify, if FAFSA shows that you qualify, then they have to repay those loans and not rely on Congress to give us free, because nothing's free. We'll end up having to pay for that eventually. We all will. But the bottom line is that we have no empirical data, no evidence that this is a good thing. We have companies that make money off of this pushing for it, the assessment companies, College Board. And so if we decide to do this as a board, then we need to have attorneys ready to defend it. Because I do not think that a lot of these parents who will be told that they have to fill out these forms will be ready to do it because they don't necessarily have to. And their children may be going to college, but a lot of people are not. And that's a decision that they have to make. If we require it, the opt-out option is just so much more difficult. And I don't think we don't have, again, any track record from any of these states. The information coming out of Louisiana, at best, is minimal. It's brand new. And I think one state, using one state as an example, at least the legislature there would have to defend it. I think there are many more things that this board needs to be addressing rather than what we're talking about right now and the potential problems that we face.
Let me remind the board members that if a student wants to even apply for a student loan, they have to complete this FAFSA. So they need to be exposed to it and complete the form and choose to opt out. That's an option too.
Governor.
Well, we need to move on, y'all. We got to move on.
Governor, could I say just a couple of words? It's Cynthia McCarty, and this is in reference to the discussion item in the work session.
Who's asking for?
It's Cynthia McCarty.
Yes, Cynthia, please go ahead.
Just in witnessing the financial stresses of so many of my college students, most of whom work at least one job, I would like to see more Alabama students receive the financial support for which they qualify. Whether they plan to attend a community college and earn a certificate, whether they plan to get an associate's degree, a 4-year degree. Now, I do have some concerns. Some in my district have asked about the students who are migrants, who are homeless. I understand there are ways that those children can still complete the FAFSA, but then that leads to my second question, is professional development.
Yes, ma'am.
If we go forward with this, I would like to be assured that our counselors and career coaches and perhaps some administrators as well, whoever is important, who needs to know, that they would get the necessary professional development to understand best practices.
Yes, ma'am.
How to complete this, what portions absolutely must be completed, what does not. The idea that scholarships, it's still worthwhile to earn a scholarship, that these are stackable onto this. But many may not know that. And so, Sean, if you would, I'd let you address that.
Yes, ma'am. I think one of the great ideas that's come from the conversations about what would our professional development is always ongoing with regard to this. But one good idea that came was looking at the possibility of offering, micro credential for staff to, to authentically be able to say for certain that, yes, I participated in the professional learning activities. We have so many opportunities with the partnerships that we currently have, not just with Alabama Possible, but, working with, our financial aid officers at each of our colleges. There really truly is, it's a complete community effort. And I've seen that personally from, starting out as a school counselor and having very few people from post-secondary, there as a resource to then having those people be integral parts of the entire college admissions process. It just does wonders for our schools because they need all of the help they can get. As far as the data and privacy concerns, I think everyone shares in those, that being a top priority, but no one can see that information today as they work with students, and so there would be no difference or change in that. I also look at situations like you mentioned with special populations. I think our schools are going to lead by acknowledging who those students are and the circumstances that they come with, and making this whole process easier. And if that means they don't participate, I just can't imagine a single school principal that would ever prevent a student from graduating from high school because of some situation, right? The inability to have their parents be involved, or all the other situations that occur. But I do think that showing, if the board chooses to approve this, it sends a message that this is a priority, and that in order for us to meet the governor's Success Plus goal, we have to have all those pieces in place in order for us to do that. Thank you, Dr. McCarty.
Okay, thank you. Can we move to the item number B?
Thank you.
Update on FY 2022 Foundation Program and the CARES 2 funds. Dr. Mackey?
Yes, ma'am, those are mine. But I would ask Governor a couple of things here to clarify. So that, the FY '22 Foundation Program and CARES Funds update, I can go through that now, or if you'd like, plus the vaccination schedule. And then the other thing that on my list today is the ESSA amendments. If you want to take those in the same order, or if you want us to take a break, and then we would, I wasn't sure what your schedule was, how long you can stay with us. If there was one of those you want us to cover before you have to leave, or if you want us to try to get through all of them, or recess and we go to the other rooms. Just give me your desire, please.
Well, I appreciate your consideration, Dr. Mackey. Please bring up item D as in dog, the ESSA amendments.
Yes, ma'am. We'll do that, and we have with us today Miss Angela Martin, Assistant State Superintendent, and you all know Miss Martin well. She has done a masterful job working with our colleagues in Washington to try to get this process moving along. And before she takes the podium over, I want to explain kind of where we are. So, one, we're in the transition of administrations. You all know that. We had a call with Secretary DeVos and her team last week, and they told us that that would be the last time we would hear from them. The new team will take office on the afternoon of February 20th. So the way the federal government works, they will, even before the new secretary is confirmed, the staff, the new appointed staff will begin to take their offices. Right now, we're dealing with two groups. There's the Biden transition team, and that is an official government